Welcome, welcome to my channel once again. Alright, today we're going to be talking about cognitive thinking versus cognitive dissonance. That's cognitive thinking versus cognitive dissonance. That's Dissonance, dissonance. Alright, now before I get started in this lesson today, I want to clarify a few things for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm not a psychologist, all right? I am not a psychologist. But my homeboy went to school for psychology, you know what I'm saying? And he used to ride around with me hitting licks every day. And after he got out of school, and long story short, he wound up telling me that I was better at psychology than him. So I had to let him know that I don't study psychology as well. You know, this was years ago, probably about 6-7 years back. But what I study is PI, MP, ology. So logically, be learning these hoes biology, learning them hoes biology. I'm trying to figure out everything what they got going on, how we thinking right this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Pimpology. You feel me? The study of the mind. You feel what I'm saying? Just like psychology. So, anyways, let's get started. Now, understanding why we need to talk about cognitive thinking versus cognitive dissonance, because we live in a place where it's a lot of cognitive dissonance, you know what I'm saying? So it creates a zombie effect. Like it's almost like living in zombie land, or like we on the way to living in zombie land. We got all these cell phones, people always got things. Look, you always in your phone, you just like, that's like some robot shit. So anyways, because you ain't even think, you're unaware of anything else at that time. So look, so this right here will be what I like to call one of the devil's biggest tricks. It's one of his biggest tricks that he used. So let's go ahead and break some shit down. What is cognitive thinking, right? So cognitive thinking would be the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and the senses. You see what I'm saying? Understanding through thought, experience, and the senses. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got emotions, emotional intelligence. It all falls into the category of cognitive thinking. So I would like to just break it down and say facts versus opinions, right? You wanna base show the mental actions, you know what I'm saying, and your process of acquiring knowledge. You wanna base it off of facts instead of having opinions that are based off of your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You wanna have facts that's based off of logic to state a very good opinion. You know what I'm saying? Cognitive thinking. So let's understand this right here. I spoke about it before, but it's something called a 4-year thinking process, right? So all it takes is 4 years for you to believe something, and that becomes a part of your memory. That's just what it is. It's hard for somebody to get you off of that after about 4 years. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you always ask questions. So this makes sense why they want kids to start school at like pre-K, you know what I'm saying? Now they got Head Start and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's by the time you get in pre-K, you 4 years old. This is the same like high school. You take 4 years of high school, you do 4 years of college, you know what I'm saying? You do another 4 years to get something else, or 2 years, you know, things like that. But it's a 4-year thinking process. You know, we got school, college, life, and family. So I'm not gonna say that the whole world suffers from this disorder, but I'm gonna say that Americans, especially North America, Americans here suffer from cognitive dissonance. They have a lack of cognitive thinking skills. And if you think I'm lying, you can just go look into that whole little thing that happened with Alex Jones. See, Alex Jones, the fact that he went to court and it's being filmed, and like as a lawyer, the prosecutor, whatever, even as a prosecutor, if you're not basing the things you're saying off facts, or Alex Jones, his attorney, for example, or the judge for that case, if you're not basing things off of facts and you basing it off of your personal opinions and things like that, social biases, that's all it that, right? Basing off social biases, then it's just not what it is. So if you go look into the Alex Jones courtroom presentation, you will see, you be like, damn, they basically saying that he got to pay $965 million for something he said. Supposedly something he said got a family of people attacked online by all these other different people. Like, them people ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't hold a gun to nobody's head and tell them to do that. You see what I'm saying? You can say what the fuck you want to say, or what is freedom of speech? It's the same shit like they tried to do with Donald Trump. They said that Donald Trump told them to go raid the fucking government building, whatever the fuck. Donald Trump ain't hold no gun to nobody else. Like, go do this. They came up with that idea on their own, off of their own emotions, you know what I'm saying, and opinions. Their own social biases, right? As white people, you know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. So they have been programmed and brainwashed through television, the media, social biases, the social biases, music, politics, false history, and false data. Excessive false data. See, they drilling you with so much excessive false data, it keeps you confused. And I told you, confusion is of the devil. Knowledge and understanding is of God type time. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the devil's biggest tricks. You know what I'm saying? Excessive data, false data, just flooding you with it, flooding you with it, to the point where, look, this is how deep it get with this false data. If you look up anything on YouTube nowadays, like Alex Jones, for example, they gonna flood you with all this media, right, that they want you to see. And then when you go to that media, let's say you go to the comment section, right? The comments that pop up, either these people suffer from cognitive dissonance, or they just computer generated bots. Just for real, like the comment section. And all the likes too, all the likes that they get for their little weird ass comment, those are bots as well, or those are people who suffer from cognitive dissonance. Or, I mean, you can break it all the way down on a spiritual level, say soulless beings or lost souls, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, it's like this. If somebody can say something, or if a certain amount of people can gather an opinion about something, and then so many other people can hit that like button, right? And it tells you, oh, 1,000 people like this. When you go read that opinion, you're like, oh, well, 1.7 thousand people liked it. Well, I guess I believe that too. You see what I'm saying? See how that work? Brainwashing. That's brainwashing. So, moving forward, that's programming, predictive programming, and brainwashing. Same with spirituality. Same thing with spirituality, cognitive dissonance. If they can get you to focus so in on crystals and burning sage and doing all that shit, look, it's cool, cause I do it. I'm just gonna be 100. I had negative energy in my house the other day. I sage the fuck out this bitch. But anyway, that's how I get down. It works for me because my intention, I understand it. But a lot of times people don't understand the full intention or the simplicity to it all. So they get stuck, they get confused, they run away, they might run back to religion. It's like a firewall, you see what I'm saying? Like, you can only go so far. But they don't want you to be a spiritual person, a cognitive thinking person, a historian, a data analyst, all in one. They don't want that. So let's talk about this word social biases for a minute, all right? So you can fully understand what I mean by social biases and how people thinking on a social level as a community, as a whole group, which I've heard others speak about before. So social biases are biases that relate to our perceptions of ourselves or others, or the ways that we behave, the ways that we act and reach decisions as a group. All right, so social biases are the perceptions of how people think of themselves and others, in the ways that they behave, act, and reach decisions as a group, not as or even as an individual. Those are social biases, because the decisions you make as an individual might be based off of the group that you come from and the social bias amongst the group. You see what I'm saying? And that makes it where you are not a free thinker. You are programmed and brainwashed, and you are of this collective hive mentality amongst that group. You see what I'm saying? Like, you might come from a group that the only thing that you're supposed to be talking about is hockey. The only thing we talk about is statistics with hockey and shit like that. Don't come over talking about basketball. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? We don't know shit about basketball. Like, it's a disconnect. You see what I'm saying? But the things I'm talking about is something that's very important amongst all people. You see what I'm saying? Amongst all people when it comes to you thinking, because you are basically, like I say so much, you are a soldier for your enemy. You working on your enemy time. And your enemy works for the devil. Understand that? Satan For y'all who don't fully comprehend the term Satan, Satan means adversary, the adversary of God, the adversary of truth. God is truth, the adversary. You see what I'm saying? Shit, follow the money. So anyway, moving forward. So this how they do. This how they get you right here. This how they, so we moving past social biases. So this how they get you. They plan on people fears, right? They plan on people's emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like you see the media, or you think that if I do this, I'm not accepted, or things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That's playing on your fears, whether you know it or not, because it's so subtle that you can't feel it, you can't see it, you can't you're not aware of it, you're not conscious of it. You see what I'm saying? They play on your fears and your emotions through your social groups. You know what I'm saying? Through the social biases of the groups. You see what I'm saying? Everybody watch the news and go to work the next day and talk about what happened on the news and what's going on in the world through the news, through the visual of the news, not through they third eye, through they cognitive thinking, they perception of the third eye. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope that makes sense. You want to be a free thinker. You want to have an open mind. You want to be an open book. You still writing to this book. It's not done. It's not over. It carries on. I might have, like, let's say this. Let's say I can go watch a video about cognitive thinking from one person's point of view, and then another video pop up, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to watch it. I just learned about that. I'm not gonna watch another video about cognitive thinking. That's not having an open mind, because this next individual might have another way of putting it or more information. Even though they saying exactly everything somebody else said, they might have something else to put into that was necessary for you. And you can go watch 5 videos like that and come up with 5 different things, or you can take the information from 5 different people from their personal point of view, and then you can come up with a proper perspective to gather from your own point of view from the information you just gained from so many other individuals, which knowledge plus understanding through other individuals leads to wisdom, which leads to power. Now you have the power of understanding cognitive thinking because you study and research, make the leech hurt. And the leech is who? The blood-sucking vampires. Who are the vampires? The ones who work for the devil. Do you feel me? For real. Yeah. And if you think I'm lying about the vampire shit, go look into adrenochrome. Look into adrenochrome and see what the fuck that is. I'm just saying though. I ain't put no names on nothing. I'm just saying though. But let's keep going. So they play on people's fears and emotions, cognitive dissonance, right? So you gotta understand, in the world we live in, every last one of us to some degree is a data analysis of your own. Like when you about to go somewhere, you check the mileage on how far away is it. That's looking at the data to see, okay, you know exactly how much gas you need for the week, or you know what time you go to sleep at night because you know what time you need to wake up in the morning, or you know exactly how much food to put into you, exactly how much you need to order, or how much food you need to buy for the week, or how much weed you want to put in your blunt, you know what I'm saying, because you don't want to smoke too much, or these skimpy blunts, you like, it don't matter. We all look at data in all forms of way. But look, understand this though. How can you understand data properly without thinking cognitively? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so we want to look at that on a larger scale. Like when people presenting data to you from their own narratives and perspectives and things of that nature, how can you truly understand the data properly except for what they give you and tell you if you're not actually cognitive thinking and you suffering from cognitive dissonance? So you basically just gonna take whatever they give you and you running with that. And now when somebody else try to tell you the correct answer to the, oh, here come your emotions, here come your opinion, here come what you seen, what you heard, without truly breaking it down and thinking cognitively of what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So let's talk about that right quick. So it's like this. Like let's say this could be a cognitive dissonance, right? Like smoking cigarettes or something, right? It could be like, all right, you know you're not supposed to be smoking cigarettes, right? But you still do it anyways. You know it's not healthy for you, but you still do it. All right, so that'd be like cognitive dissonance, but you have to look deeper into it than that. Like, damn, what made me start smoking cigarettes in the first place? Was it a fucking picture on the wall outside of every hood store that I went to growing up that said Newports for this price? You know what I'm saying? Did everybody I know smoke a pack of Newports? Did somebody pass me a cigarette when I was 12 years old? Did my family member smoke cigarettes? What happened? You know what I'm saying? This shit was dished on you. Brainwashing. You know what I'm saying? Programming. I'm just saying though. So it leads to cognitive dissonance. It's hard to get up out of that thing. You see what I'm saying? Look, I'm just being honest. But that's just a good example. So dopamine addictions lead to cognitive dissonance. Understand it. Just like saying, let's say you got a YouTube channel, right? You see these people with their YouTube channels, and they talk and give information how they give it. People like how they give it. That's what draws people in, so they continue to give it that way, even if they figured out later on that that way wasn't even the right way. But it still works for them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's working for them. That's a form of a dopamine addiction, because you're getting a high from that, from you getting what you want from that. You know what I'm saying? So now you believing in your own bullshit. You see what I'm saying? It leads to cognitive dissonance. You know what I'm saying? You so intact with the addiction that you don't even give a fuck about anything outside of that truth. You know what I'm saying? Cognitive dissonance. So it's people like that all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, when I get on I look at certain people's channels and shit, like, and some people, like, all they talk about is like ghosts. Or some people only do like ghosts, right? Some people do Sasquatch. Some people do history. Some people do sports. Some people do credit. Some people do stocks. Some people do crypto. Some people do all kind of different things. And that's like the focus of their whole channel, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, but what if you find out that something that's been the focus of your whole channel ain't even true, ain't even the right way of delivery? Then you be like, damn, well, I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. You know, this is what's working for me. That's just how that works. But I'm gonna try to think cognitively so I can present the right information. I'm gonna try to bring, even though I didn't have the right information, I'm gonna try to bring the right information. And matter of fact, I'm gonna even go rebuttal my past self and let you know that I apologize for this being said. Now this is what I'm taking from this. You know what I'm saying? Just like Dan Calloway, for example, with his whole Harriet Tubman theory. You know what I'm saying? How he say Harriet Tubman wasn't real, dummy. Like, but I bet you he found out later on that Harriet Tubman was real. But he gonna keep that up. Shit, that's what worked for him. That's what draw people to his channel. So now you try to throw some truth in there with it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So dopamine addictions lead to cognitive dissonance. It's an attack. You're attacking others. You're attacking yourself. So cognitive thinking, like a lack of cognitive thinking, is related to stress. You know, I told you how they put all these fear-induced, emotion-induced propaganda in front of you all day long. So it's like, hold on. Yeah, that weed. Yeah. So cognitive thinking is related to stress. All right. So lack of cognitive thinking is related to stress. All right. Just based off of the like I just said, emotion-induced, fear-induced propaganda that they throw in front of you. So it's also related to spirituality, because an enhance of stress is the opposite of spirituality. If you ask me, like, spirituality is all about being positive and shit. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, positive knowledge yourself too. Because you realize that thinking positive income brings positive outcome, you know, as within, so without. So it's like, and then when you're thinking all negative all day long, you putting too much shit in your head that you can't even think straight, fam. Like, you can't even think straight. You start thinking about other shit. You just start going into zombie mode again. You know what I'm saying? The devil's biggest trick, like I said. So, okay, so to manage your cognitive health, there's a few things that you can do. It's only 4 things. But when I read these 4 things on how you can manage your cognitive health, you're going to realize that this is the same as what people in spiritual communities be talking about, or people in health communities be talking about. It's like holistic shit, you know what I'm saying? And remember this, fear causes stress, stress causes disease, you know what I'm saying? But the more that you have of a positive thinking process, you know what I'm saying, your cells regenerate on their own, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I try to tell people not to put too many proteins in you, especially when you got a lot of stress going on and things of that nature, because you ain't doing nothing but hold on to it. You want to put nutrients in your body and shit like that, go on a fast or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to let your body regenerate all that bullshit up out of there, them toxins, you know what I'm saying? Fresh, clean cells, you know what I'm saying? And that's health. You know, health leads to wealth. All right. So here's 4 things you can do. So exercise regularly, write in a journal, try relaxation techniques, like I would say something like meditating, breathing techniques, you know, shit like that. And number 4, stay positive. 4 simple things you can do to manage your cognitive health. Say it again. Exercise regularly, write in a journal, try relaxation techniques like meditation or breathing techniques, and just staying positive for whatever, you gotta be vigilant about that, staying positive and keeping a not just being positive and happy all the fucking time, but just keeping a positive, balanced mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, for your health. For your health. So, pop like I had a seed in it or something. So, it's another thing that cognitive dissonance is, like cognitive thinking versus cognitive dissonance. So it's a lack of psychological adherency. It's what people suffer from with cognitive dissonance. It's a lack of psychological adherency to factual and moral truth. Like I said it the whole time. Like a lack of psychological adherency to factual and moral truth. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your moral truth, and you know what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what's facts and what's not. So basically, when you suffer from cognitive dissonance, you don't even know the difference between a fact and an opinion. That's some simple shit to figure out. Go Google what a fact is and Google what an opinion is, and look at the difference between that shit when you thinking. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. So the lack of cognitive thinking leads to a future of mental slavery and division. You know what I'm saying? People ain't thinking right. They stuck in whatever conform of social biases in society that they operating under. You know what I'm saying? Leading to a mental slavery where they never becoming the best version of themselves. And people be dying out here, man. It's like this whole depopulation thing they got going on. So the lack of cognitive thinking leads to a future of mental slavery and division. A nation of cognitive dissonance. There we go, that's North America, a nation of cognitive dissonance. But it's not the whole nation, because we have a lot of critical thinking people out here, a lot of cognitive thinking people, real talk, people that actually think straight. But they don't let you know that they try to present the people that think a certain way and move a certain way to you the most. And it's so crazy because like mainstream media and like TV shows and late night TV and all this shit, the people they got working on a lot of this shit, man, are reading scripts or probably basically automatons. If you don't know what an automaton is, you know what I'm saying? Like a soulless being, like, don't know what the fuck going on. They don't know what the fuck going on. Like, I don't even know how they able to procreate. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So, it's each one teach one with me. And I don't want to make another video saying welcome to Zombie Land, but we want to make sure we thinking correctly at all times. So let's just say this one more time. So it's facts versus opinions, logic versus emotions. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that your emotions are based off of logic. Make sure that your opinions are based off facts. All right. So let that be the case. I'm out.